I would request Kushbu to put up a slide. Yeah. Piyush is a coach, blogger, and a motivational speaker with clients ranging from top corporate executives, businessmen, entrepreneurs to students and homemakers. As a life coach, she helps people with relationship and depression related issues. She incredibly blends science into spirituality to create miraculous results. She is an arhatic yogi and practitioner of several modalities of neurolinguistic programming, angel healing, EFT, pranic healing, and Reiki. Using these tools, she helps her clients overcome their barriers and accomplish life-changing results. Piyush, so happy to see you here, and it's an honor and pleasure to actually have you here with us. Can I ask you to unmute, please? 1 minute.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect. Very warm welcome, Piyush.
Thank you, Ritu, for that lovely introduction. It's always a pleasure meeting you, seeing your growth.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Piyush.
So I've been hearing a few people talking, and I realize my topic is very, way different from what everybody is talking about. So we are not physical beings having a spiritual experience. Actually, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. This one sentence sums up the significance of spiritual intelligence and well-being in our lives. And that's the topic which I'm going to speak about today. And life, which at its core is nothing but spirit. So, good morning, friends. Today, as we coaches and trainers have assembled here, and we are discussing the importance, like I have to discuss the importance of spiritual well-being. I thought, let me start by reflecting on who we are. Actually, we as coaches have taken up the responsibility of making a positive difference in the lives of our clients, right? And actually, in turn, we are making this world a better place. And we facilitate them to create a life that not only looks good on the outside, but feels good on the inside also. Isn't it that we are doing here? All of us, the coaches and the trainers. So let's start today by talking about the attributes, important attributes actually, that determine our success in our mission as trainers or life coaches. I just want to make you aware of it. I know you all know what your attributes are, and let me just talk about it. So when people approach us, anybody who approaches us, they're looking at things from a very limited perspective that comes from their values and their conditioning. Now, what's our job? Our job is to be that space in which he or she feels safe, right? And he feels supported. So our mind has to be clutter free, clean slate. Unless we operate from empty space, we will never be able to, understand what their barriers are and help them realize their barriers and break them. Actually, if I have to say, we are like vacuum pumps. What happens when a vacuum pump is switched on? Have you seen a vacuum pump? It creates a great suction force. Similarly, when a coach is operating from an empty space, what do? You allow your client to look deeper within them. Empty their space. Higher the suction. Deeper is the search, greater is the awareness. And that's our job as coaches. We are the suction machines. We are the suction motors. Okay. So I'll tell you why I'm talking about all this. So how many of you agree that you have to be empty space for training and coaching? Actually, I would like to listen from a few of you. If you can type in the chat box, if you agree with me, then type, say empty in the chat box so that I know if people are listening, participating. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So I think we all agree that we have to be empty space, right? So what is the greatest illusion, if I may ask you? What is the greatest illusion of that we all carry? And the greatest illusion is that we are separate, that there is a separation. Actually, if you think about it, we are all one. I am another you. We are not separate. We are both one. Just that our physical bodies are different, but at the atomic level, at the source, we are all one. We are part of the same universal energy, and we are governed by the same laws of the universe. I believe my clients who come and sit in front of me and who are trying to take coaching from me, they are a reflection of me. I attract clients who have the same value system as me. Sometimes I feel they are mirroring a part of me that I have rejected in myself. There is a saying which I heard from Einstein. I read it somewhere, and it said, no problem in your life can be solved from the same levels of consciousness that created it. So whatever problem that we are facing, actually, what do we need to do to solve that problem? We just need to rise our level of consciousness. We need to rise our level of vibrations. And we have to have, when we rise above that level of consciousness, when we rise above that vibration, what are we doing? We are actually creating a new way of thinking or looking at a new approach. So what is consciousness? How many of you want to know what is consciousness? Consciousness, you've heard this word consciousness again and again, and you've been working on people's consciousness, you've been working on your consciousness. Yes, somebody said, we look separated and integrated. Life is, yeah, we are one, and yes, we are one, and we are separated at the time of birth. Okay. So consciousness, if I have to talk about, simply, if I have to give you in simple words, simply consciousness is a state of being aware. State of being aware of what? Being aware of ourselves, being aware of our world, being aware of the people we affect. Now the question is, how to be more conscious? What will help us to be more conscious, clutter free, empty, so that, why do we want to be clutter free, empty, conscious? So that we can be powerful enough to support those who come in our space. That's your job as a coach, right? What is that one thing that will empower us to hold their hands and help them rise? Anybody has answers? What is that one thing that we need which will empower them? We don't know answers for their questions. We don't have answers for their problems. But what is one thing that we have as coaches that will empower them to hold their hands and help them rise? So Dev Kanan is saying raising our frequency. Yes. How? So I would like to hear some more answers if, yeah, connect. Yes. Okay, Vinayak. Anybody else? Positive energy. Yes. Cleaning clutter. Yes, cleaning clutter, being positive energy, raising our vibration. And if I have to tell you in one word, okay, listening from the space of nothingness. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. Listen, remain in the state of being, letting go of the stuff in the hand, NLP, our awareness of the coachee awareness. Yes. So all this is leading to my topic. Be compassionate and kind. Brahmasmi. Yes, yes, yes. I got it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So what is one thing? That one thing is spirituality. That one thing is the spiritual fitness. That one thing is the spiritual wellness that I'm going to talk about today. So spirituality, no, it's not religion. It's not religion. I am not here to preach about ethics and morality today. Spirituality actually is a very different from religion. We will maybe talk about in some other time. So we all have these four quotients. We have this physical body. We have this mental intelligence quotient. We have an emotional quotient, and then we have a spiritual quotient, right? So these four quotients are like the four wheels of the car. And this car is what? This car is our life. And we cannot move forward if one of these quotients break down. If one of the tires is not working, our car will not move. While we do so much for the first three, we exercise, we do yoga, we do gymming, we do so much for the brain exercise, we do so much for for an emotional thing. Why do we leave the spiritual behind? And spiritual intelligence, if spiritual intelligence is about having a complete understanding of who am I, and connecting with my higher self. Word spirituality actually comes from the word spirit. So spirit, where is the spirit? Where is the spirit? Spirit is above the mental realm, right? So being spiritual means what? Being spiritual means to move beyond the fluctuations of your mind, to move beyond the storytelling of the mind. So mental, mind realm, it has all the biases. It has the limiting beliefs, the conditionings, which we are carrying from so many lifetimes, we are carrying from our childhood. So as a coach or trainer, you're supporting people to become more aware and cleanse these limiting beliefs and mental blocks, right? And once cleansing is done, then they rise to a higher level in their consciousness. This is being spiritual. Spirituality is actually nothing, not only the beginning, but the end of any coaching. Yeah, our only job is to rise our vibration and raise their vibration, right? So you are coaching someone to be able to see beyond their impressions that color their reality. So you are saying, remove your blue lenses. I will help you to have transparent lens so you can see clearly. So this person comes to you and he's saying this rose, white rose is red because he's wearing red glasses. And you are trying to remove his lenses so that he can see the things for what they are, not from his lenses of his conditioning, of his limiting beliefs, right? That's our job as coaches, right? So do we have the awareness? Do we have this muscle to help the other person move beyond the mental realm? Have we moved beyond our mental realms? How many of how many of us are taking out time for our own selves? How can you coach someone if your own life is not working? How can you conquer the world without conquering your own self? So spirituality is beyond the impressions of this mind. That's what we all got. Okay. So you want them to see beyond the mind. So these mental impressions, as I said, they're coming from years and years of mental conditioning. So let me give you an analogy. Let me give you a small analogy. So I don't know how many of you are science students here, but you know a law of magnetism, which says that if you bring a magnet, a discharged magnet or a demagnetized magnet in the field of a strong magnet, that's when you can magnetize. That is when you can magnetize this small magnet. Actually, the you just have to bring it in contact with that magnet. So I'm giving you this analogy from there. So we are all magnets that attract things, good or bad, to ourselves. So we are very powerful magnets, and our spine is a very, very powerful magnet. Our spine is a very powerful magnet. So with all the spiritual practices that we trainees undertake, we are magnetizing ourselves every day, right? And to become more powerful, what become more powerful magnetic versions of ourselves. So the large and strong, so this, when a small magnet or any magnet which is dirty, when it comes in contact with this large magnet, what happens? By the law of magnetism, it will actually get magnetized. So imagine like it, I could say that it is kind of removes the dirt from that magnet when it comes in contact with us. Then this magnet, by the law of magnetism, will automatically magnetize, right? So if I am a powerful magnet, anyone who comes in contact with me will get magnetized. I hope you people are getting what I'm trying to say. Okay, tell me, what does a lighthouse do? What does a lighthouse do to expel darkness? Does it do anything? No, nothing. It's just there. So you as coaches, if you increase your LQ, when I say LQ, that means your light quotient, your client's life will alter. To increase your LQ, what do you have to do? You just have to be spiritually fit. Are you people getting value? So if you are, please type value in the chat box. Thank you, Vinay. I want to hear from a yes, people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So actually, see, nowadays when you're talking, I'm so used to talking to the live audience that this is a little difficult. Okay, so if we talk about the real world, if we talk about the real world and you say, okay, this spiritual thing is making sense, raising your vibration, being a strong magnet, it does make sense. How does spirituality look like in the physical world? How does it look like if I am a spiritually fit person? How do I know if I'm a spiritually fit person? So I'll give you a few things. So one of the things is your purpose is very clear. If you are spiritually fit, your purpose is very clear. You know who you are, why you are here, and how you are a contribution to making this world a better place. Your purpose is very crystal clear in your eyes. And second thing is your life is effortless. When I say effortless, you live a life where you feel everything is in flow. Everything is in flow and the whole universe is aligned. Synchronicities start to happen. That's the space when you are spiritually fit, and then you are stable, you are joyful. There nothing shakes you. Life will go up and down, nothing shakes you. You understand emotions are energy in motion, and you allow them to pass through you. Your, without negatively impacting you, the emotions will come. You understand these are energy in motion, they will pass, and you are at peace with yourself and the world. And you are empathetic. That's the most important point for you as trainers and coaches. You are empathetic, you are aware of others feelings, you are aware of your own emotions, and you are compassion. 90% of our life is wasted because we don't experience synchronicities. They will happen when you have spiritual fitness. If I am joyful, yes, excellent, okay. So let me put it this way. All the if you I was thinking of this example that day. At the airport, if you go and there is a perfume shop, what do? You go and try on all the perfumes, right? So after you have tried 1, 2, 3 perfumes and you have smelled them, then you have to go looking for a coffee bean jar, because then you can't make out, then you can't differentiate between all the perfumes. So spirituality, if I have to tell you, is like a coffee bean jar. So it helps you to reset the mind. So other things that we can other things which we can achieve and help our clients achieve through spiritual awakening or spiritual walking on the spiritual path are: one is establish a connect with the true self and true life purpose. Second, you can neutralize the fears. That one is not in the fight and flight mode constantly. The spirituality helps you to come out of it. It keeps you centered through life's ups and downs, right? It helps us to learn our lessons and keep moving in life. So as they say, nothing goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. So actually, I want you to make some noise in the chat box and tell me how it is going, if you want some more information before I keep talking about how to practice spirituality. I have heard spirituality explained in such easy way. Thank you so much. We are spiritual beings having a, yes, we are. Okay. So anything people have to say before I move on to, should I move on? Do you want to know how to practice spirituality, or do you all know what how to practice spirituality? Okay, please move on. Okay. Share your practices. Okay, share my practices. So the first practice which I do is deep breathing. I swear by it. Deep breathing is excellent way. So let's understand it like this. Okay, so let's understand it like this. Our mind creates thoughts, right, which translate into images. We have thoughts, and these thoughts are translated into images, and these images keep shaking because we are not mindful of our breath. So this causes the mind chatter, right? So as we control our breath, we control these images, and as we control these images, we subside our thoughts and eliminate the mind chatter, right? Now, if thoughts are subsided, one thing is thoughts are subsided, mind chatter stops. Second thing which happens is when the thoughts are subsided, your nervous system is cool and not in a state of emergency. You are not in fight and flight anymore. And this stops us from being in reptilian brain and reacting as animals, thus pushing us to a state of greater awareness. Did you all get this? Right? Okay. And then second practice which I do is mantra. Mantra actually comes from a Sanskrit word which is a combination of two words. Man means mind, tra means vehicle. So it is a vehicle of the mind. Mantra is a vehicle of the mind. So mantra again de-excites the de-excites the nervous system. It is another way of de-exciting, cooling it down, right? So you can access bliss and fulfillment which is inside of you, because the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, my friends. Chanting mantra releases happy chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, which everybody is talking about nowadays, right? And the third beautiful practice is Shivoham. Yes, right. Happy chemicals. Yeah. So meditations, best way to increase your spiritual fitness, meditations. What does it do? We all have been talking about meditation. Actually, it aligns your left and the right brain, your creative and the logical brain. By meditation, you trigger neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. And what do I mean by neuroplasticity and neurogenesis? Neuroplasticity means it is the ability of the brain to change itself. Our brain has the ability to change itself, and who knows better than us trainers, right? And neurogenesis, which is the capacity of the brain to generate new brain cells. And you know, the number of brain cells, if they keep increasing, we are younger, we are more healthy, we are more conscious, we are more aware, right? Fourth thing which I really highly recommend is retreat yourself. Retreat yourself from your life. Being amidst nature, peaceful surroundings, mountains, sounds of waves, sounds of crackling fire speak to you, my dear friends. It speaks to you. So are worship and reading. So if I may have to sum it up, we are energy. Our vibration reaches before we say anything, right? How we feel peaceful when we are in the presence of a saint. Have you seen, when you meet a saintly person, you feel so calm? How does it, even if he is not speaking anything, because his vibe, his energy speaks to you. What is it? It's their vibration, right? So in your client's life, you are the stabilizing factors, my friend. You are the lighthouse. If your energies are wobbly, their life would be wobbly too. So keeping yourself spiritually fit is of utmost importance. And when you are spiritually fit, you can introduce these practices into your client's life. How much can we contribute to the collective consciousness? I know you all must have read about this experiment which was done so many years back about a lot of people. I'm a pranic healer, so a lot of healers, they got together and they meditated. And do you know, when they meditated, that area, that place where they were meditating, the crime rate went down, the sensex went up, and so many good things started happening. So that's about it. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them.
Hi, Pooja has a
Sensex
question.
went down is not a good idea, Piyush.
Pardon me?
Sensex went down is not a good idea. It's not a sign of prosperity.
Went up.
Went up. I said went up.
Acha.
I'm sorry.
Piyush, great session. We have lots of reflections happening on the chat box, as you can see. There's a question
Thank you.
from Pooja. She says, I heard sanskars, an impression from past birth and some feelings, emotions, vibrations. We catch in mother's womb and it's coming from the DNA. How to
Yes.
recognize such things and clear those impressions?
Okay. Yes. So clear those impressions. Yes, Pooja. So Pooja, yes, you said Pooja.
Yes, Pooja.
Yes. Of course, these impressions are coming not only from your mother's womb, from your past life also. And yes, we can work on them because they are in your DNA. And if I must say, we have only 3% of our DNA is coming from the past lives, right? Or coming from the mother's womb, and rest. So if you look at the DNA, 2% of our DNA is genetic, which is coming from parents, and 3% of the DNA is akashic, which is coming from past lives. But 92% of our DNA, which scientists say is junk. Is it junk? Did God make something which was not required? No, that DNA is not junk. It was given on purpose. Purpose means it's given to us so that we can outcreate any problem, outcreate anything with the help of one thing, and that one thing is choice. So make a choice of spiritual fitness, and I'm sure there are a lot of practices. I have been doing a lot of practices with my people. I've been using it on my clients, and we've been getting wonderful results. There have been fears which have been coming from lifetimes, and people don't know where these fears are coming from, and we worked on those fears and overcome them. I hope it answers your question, Pooja.
Yeah, Piyush, thanks. And I also heard about so many spiritual practices. Some people go for past life regression, some go for theta healing. And
Yes.
I found the meditation is best because it's really release your and cleanse your all the chakras and
Yes.
energy and the nadis, Shuddhi also.
Yes.
So, what the best in your experiences? Can you suggest some practices which really help you and your clients?
Okay. So every practice, actually, I would say it's like any road you take, it takes you to the same destination, right? It doesn't matter whether you're using Reiki or you're using Theta or you're using pranic healing. Everything is about cleansing your aura, cleansing your energy centers, right? The chakras, right? It's everything is working on those and connecting you to your higher self. So it doesn't matter what path you take, but the only thing which matters is being consistent, not giving up. This is self work. This is this is one work which will take time, but results are guaranteed. You keep walking the walk, right? The practices which I have been doing with my friends, clients, there are a lot of them. So I start with deep breathing and gradually take them into deeper meditations. And I'm also using all kinds of practices that you mentioned. So I know at least 7 to 8 types of healing modalities, energy healings. So I don't know, when a client comes to me, I don't know which modality I'll be using, because every individual is different from the first one. So it's a very, very tailor-made kind of a program. So depending on the problem, we make we design a program for them.
That's great. Piyush, we have two more questions that we'll take up.
Yes.
So next opportunity, Dr. Asit, if you would like to.
Yeah, wonderful presentation, very, very unique. But I worked in corporate as a director HR in multiple companies where my general manager training will come for such a program like yours. And why are you wasting your money? Because first see productivity improvement karo, soft skill karo. So how do you really see the placement? While individual training upliftment is wonderful, but when you do a corporate training, I see a disconnect from that space. I personally resonate with your thought.
Okay. So, Dr. Asit, thank you so much for this acknowledgement. And so you're right. Corporates would say speak on only IQ and EQ. I also faced that problem at one point of time, and I used to face that problem. But now, if you see the biggest corporates like Lotus or Dabur, or to name a few, a lot of corporates have started inviting spiritual gurus to their institutes, to their organizations, and people are looking at. Have you seen how many monks have turned into trainers? Have you
Yes.
seen? It's not funny. How many monks have started training people? Why? Because corporates are looking at SQ. This is the new way of training. And I can tell you, I can vouch for it, because in my trainings, I incorporate SQ as much as I incorporate the IQ and the EQ.
Great.
So it is coming up. So it is on the rise.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Piyush, for that. And we have one last question. I'd request Pinaki. Pinaki, are you able to unmute yourself?
Thank you, Ritu. My mic wasn't working, but nice, Piyush ji, for having such an elevated discussion. My question comes from some of the experiences we have in different contexts. That what are the challenges you face during delivery of this method, especially in the context where people come from different faith-based background and a different methodology and the belief and a culture, because not one will fit into one. So do you have a pre-assessment done or something like that to actually acknowledge or take a listening session? And so I'm very curious about the challenges, because we talk about the success, and you beautifully constructed the mechanism to work like in a jiffy. but it takes a lot of years of experience. So I just wanted to have some of your
Okay.
reflection on that.
So the first concept I gave in the very beginning was there is an illusion of separation. There is nobody is separate. The person who's taking coaching and the person who's coaching, we are both one, right? So my vibration makes all the difference. So when I am vibrating at a certain level of consciousness, people rise up to that consciousness. So I kind of pull them. So yes, you are right. How do I, how do I go about this? Is that I have no doubts in my mind about this. First thing, I have no doubts. I am pretty sure we are all human beings. We are all spirits at the base of it, right? And we know that, and we have that need. So everybody is looking for IQ enhancement and EQ enhancement, but they also are looking for enhancing their, because what is, if you look at the Maslow's graph, what does it say at the higher level? Everybody, the highest need a human being has is the need for growth. So every human being is looking for growth. When they are done with the lower four, the human needs of survival, that's when they come to the next two, which is growth and contribution. And the biggest coaches of this industry only talk about that. Everybody's talking about from the level of growth and contribution, making a difference. And it's not difficult. Try it, my friend, try it. I've done it, and it does work.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Piyush. It's an honor to have you here. As time is pressing, we're not able to take all the questions. I'd request you to kindly